All right, what's happening, Limitless fam? Welcome back to the actual Limitless Trading Academy Discord channel. We're raising some technical difficulties right here. It's the first time, so let's get it sorted here. Open YouTube real quick. Open YouTube real quick. Discord channel. Open YouTube right there. Open the browser. There we go. Go to Chrome. Open YouTube right there. Get it signed off. Yes, sir, we're live. All right. Welcome to the setup, my fam. I'm very excited to bring you a completely new format. We've been streaming. It has been an incredible journey so far. Make sure that the sound is up here right now. Give me 1 second, guys. A completely new format. We've been streaming. It has been an incredible journey so far. Make sure that the sound is up here right now. Give me 1 second, guys. There we go. All good. Like I said, incredible journey. We started out streaming a year ago from our bedroom right here. We built up a fantastic community. I want to do a big shout out to Thomas, to Gavin Dentis, to all the people that worked with us to build the community that we have today, because without them, we wouldn't be where we are right now. So the goal is today to give you every single day the best possible setup that we're looking at right here, right now. Okay? So the goal is today. Let's see if there every single day the best possible setup. Okay, not anymore. All good. Right here, right now. Okay? Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Every single day, the best possible setup. Okay, not anymore. All good. Right here, right now. Okay? Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Okay, not anymore. Let's see. It's good. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. I think we're good, fam. Okay, it's the first time. You guys know how it goes here. We have building an incredible studio. However, we're kind of new to this stuff right here. We're traders. We are not a specialist in that sense here, but we're going to crush it together. Okay, so let's continue our journey. I see Vicky in the chat right there. Absolutely incredible, Vicky. Good to have you here as well. So let's dive into it, guys. So number one, very importantly, we have a big week ahead. Okay, we're going to talk about the CPI here. A lot of news coming our way right now. So let's put in the charts here for a second as well. This Tuesday, we have the core CPI coming along here. Month over month, expecting forecast 0.3%. The CPI of October at 0.1%. So we're seeing a decrease as well as for the year over year, 3.3% right there, which is a minus 0.4%. So I'm very looking forward to see what's going to happen tomorrow. Obviously, we will be live trading this together. So this is what we're going to do here for the major days here. We're going to go live regardless. We're going to make sure that we're looking at the charts here. I do not expect too much movement today, regardless. So tomorrow is going to be the day where we're going to trade the CPI. All right. So I'm very, very excited for that. We have also, very importantly, a Wednesday, another big week ahead here. We have the core retail sales coming along with the PPI, okay, for the manufacturers as well as the retail sales. And then, of course, on a Thursday, we have the initial jobless claims as always, right here. I am very interested to see what the initial jobless claims will bring to the table this Thursday. And the reason why, mainly, is because we're probably going to see an increase in unemployment right there. So I want to see how the dollar will react here. We're going to dive into the charts right now. But keep in mind that before, on a Friday, we also have the euro as well. So the euro US dollar is going to be very interesting. We'll talk about this a little bit later here. Now let's dive actually into the charts, starting, of course, with the dollar index, okay? We start out always with the dollar. And the reason why is because I want to know the foundation. I want to know what's happening on the charts right here, on the weekly. Even if you are a day trader or a scalper or whatever you are, I want you to be, very, at least have a good overview of the overall chart here on the higher time frame. And the reason why is because there is a lot of information on the higher time frame with a lot of speculation. All right. So for that particular reason, I think that starting on the weekly is always a good manner here. So starting on the weekly on the dollar right now, as you guys can see, and I grab my iPad right here quickly. You see clearly that at this particular moment, we have seen 2 touch points right now, which is okay. However, the most important part that I'm looking forward right now is the fact that if you look on the daily here, that like we said before, when we were live, we were talking about the 50%, right? The equilibrium. And the equilibrium was right there. If you guys look at it right now, you can see the equilibrium right there. We saw already 2 rejection points at the equilibrium. We saw it aligning with the trend. We saw it aligning also with a strong area of supply as well right here, as you guys can see. Okay, so based upon these metrics right here, we have seen multiple touch points right now where the dollar apparently cannot break through. And you see clearly that if we take this now to the lower time frames, okay, and we start pulling this back towards the 4 hour and we zoom in here, okay, what is important to mention is that I always look at the same moves in the market. And as you guys can see right now, is that consolidation, that expansion, that retracement, looking potentially for the continuation right here. So again, consolidation, the expansion, the retracement, potentially looking for a rejection, looking for the continuation down here. If you go to the weekly, if we take this back to the weekly time frame, guys, you can still see clearly that we are in an uptrend. But even in an uptrend right here, right now, at this particular moment, you can see clearly that there is a chance that, in my opinion, we're going to pull back slightly, at least pulling back towards this range here. The reason why I'm saying that is because we have created that lower low right here. This is that lower low that we created. We then created a higher high. Fantastic. We're looking for the pullback of that higher high, potentially looking for a higher low scenario. So even on the weekly, I think this is completely normal. Even if you pull back here for the dollar and continuing an uptrend right here, no problem at all in my opinion. I think that we could come down here, potentially pull back, and then looking for another retest up higher. So for that particular reason, I'm going to keep a very close eye on the dollar right now. The beautiful thing about this is though, is that tomorrow with the CPI, we're going to see the climax, okay? We are going to find out what's going to happen. And I'm actually very happy today that we're actually pulling back up right now at the moment, because what we have seen before many times over is that we pull up and then the CPI comes out, we reverse. NFP, we pull down, CPI comes out, we move up, right? We use these tools of reference, especially during high probability news setups and so on, as well as red folder news that are extremely important, that we're looking for that turnaround, okay? And that turnaround could happen for the dollar. So with that information right there, let's dive into our next chart right here, guys. And that's the gold chart right here, right now, okay? We have been looking at a beautiful weekly channel. I'm a big fan of parallel channels in general here. I know the power of these channels. I've been using them for a very long time here. You can combine them with any trading strategy that you are looking for and you are interested in. I'm talking about horizontal support and resistance, supply and demand, ICT, trend line strategy, you name it. Trust me, parallel channels are key to understand the structure, to understand the higher time frame bias, the setup, long, short, potential, bullish or bearish scenarios, right? Therefore, we're looking at these channels right here. So as you guys can see clearly, we have been looking at the multiple touch points previously already. Right here, we saw the low, we saw the high, we saw the low. And the good thing about these channels as well is that each and every parallel channel on the higher time frame also has an equilibrium, okay? So let this be a very good lesson. This is something that I learned lately, which I was like, man, it's crazy accurate actually, when you look at this overall equilibrium of that parallel channel right there. So we moved back, we had the NFP, we took an amazing long trade right here with our Discord group. We went live in our Discord right here. We took a long trade for gold. We're still doing our $1,000 to $10,000 challenge. We'll keep you guys updated later in our Discord as well how that's going. But right now, you see that we pushed up a significant amount, and I do believe this is roughly, and I need to see it right now, this is roughly around 2,000 pips. Something like that, guys. Crazy move for gold here. What tends to happen is that everyone now thinks that gold is going to go to the moon, blah, 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 and so on and so on. No matter how much we pump, the more aggressive the pump is, the higher the probability of a pullback, okay? And that's currently what we're seeing right here. And the pullback was perfectly right here at the equilibrium of that channel in combination with, of course, the highs that we had right here, okay? We saw this beautiful area of supply right here. If you go to the lower time, if you go to the daily or the 12-hour chart, you will see that you directly get rejected and a nice area of supply right here, pushing price further down. So it's never that one big parallel channel that does everything for you. It's the channel in combination with these other factors, such as, in this case, for example, basic market structure, lower low, potentially lower high, which is also automatically that particular area of supply that comes into play right here. You can combine it with support and resistance, you name it. I don't really care. I'm looking at what are most people doing. You have horizontal support and resistance traders, you have supply and demand traders. I try to put them all together to see where the most likely confluences are coming together. That's what I'm interested in. So gold is now looking extremely interesting if you go back and we take this now to the daily, because even the daily within the weekly time frame here, guys, if you go back here, yes, we have a fantastic daily or weekly channel. We also have a daily channel right here. Okay, that's how it goes. So we had that beautiful daily channel right here coming down fantastically. As you see right now, we come pull back. We broke out. We closed a daily candle above it, and we kept going all the way up until there. Now we're pulling back right here. So what's important to mention from this one is that we're now pulling back to a very interesting level. Okay, so it's no longer just a significant pullback. I think it was roughly, I need to see how long this was right here, but this was, I think, it's still an 800 pip move here. So that's absolutely crazy. 800 pip move back down here. Right now, at this particular moment, you reach that base right here of that expansion, okay? So we saw that expansion, we saw that base, we saw that continuation right here. We're now pulling back, we're now seeing a reaction from it. I'm not satisfied yet, guys. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, if I'm gonna look for new buys for gold, I wanna look at this region right here, which is gonna be a little bit under the 1900. And the reason why is because I wanna see people getting liquidated. That's how the game works, okay? If you take this to that level right here, we still have that reverse gap below. I wanna see the stop losses there taken out here. I still think that the dollar can make one more final squeeze to the upside to potentially continue its momentum right here, right to that zone, potentially fill up that gap. CPI comes out and we tank to the downside or something in that manner, which could help us with that gold move back down, liquidating these lows, potentially pulling back into a strong horizontal support where, as well as an area of demand, as well as the 618 Fibonacci. Okay, so put it all together. This is a very high probability, which will be at 1885. If we can get down here, I'm gonna buy a lot of gold. Okay, I'm gonna take a nice position right here for gold here long. If we do decide, however, to still come up from this level right now, I'm gonna just take this to the 1 hour chart. Okay, and what I wanna do from here is just simply look in, zoom in, wait for an expansion right now, and then after that expansion, potentially, pull back, create a higher low, looking for longs right here, consolidation, expansion, retracement, continuation right there. So regardless of what happens, I'm gonna get into gold from this particular area. I don't care if it goes now or if it goes down first. We're gonna get into positions soon here, okay? So keep a very close eye on gold right now. I do like how we're setting up, and I think that the CPI right here is helping us out tremendously. Now let's look at the next one, okay, which is the Australian dollar against the US dollar, okay? And the reason why I look at this one right here, simply look at the weekly chart for a second, okay? The weekly chart right here right now tells you everything that we need to know. So number one, we're looking at a nice proper expansion all the way from the pre-pandemic lows right here, okay? We had the pre-pandemic lows right there, which were roughly February 2020. After that, we dumped aggressively, we expanded up completely, and now we're pulling back right now until, I believe, in September 2022, when we saw another reaction right here, and now we're pulling back, okay? What is important to mention on the weekly, and this is the reason why I look at the weekly one more time here, is the fact that we have that expansion. We broke structure right there, okay? And we're now pulling back right to these lows right here. So I'm very interested to see what's gonna happen here for the Australian dollar against the US dollar. Combine that with the dollar index right now, and we might see some very, very good expansion for the Australian dollar against the US dollar happening as well here. Very, very important. So take this to the daily, okay? I can even take this to the 12 hour. I think this will even help us out a little bit more. If you guys see clearly that zone right here, we have a very, very nice zone overall happening right at this level, okay? And you see clearly that we have been bouncing from it perfectly, in my opinion, taking this towards the 4 hour or even to the 1 hour, okay? Let's just take it to the 1 hour right now. And this is where the magic happens, right? We do this over and over and over and over again, which is that consolidation, okay? One more time, consolidation, that expansion, that retracement, and that continuation. And we use the volume profile, right? You guys know I'm a big fan of the fixed range volume profile. I'll be using this over and over and over again, also on the live trades that we took over the last year. Okay, the point of control, the value area high, the value area low. This is the point of control. This is the area where the most volume has been traded right here. Okay, and this is where things are looking extremely nice here, because if we would highlight the point of control right here, look at the magical touch here. This is what I prefer potentially at all times, okay? Looking for that tap, one more time, boom, consolidation, expansion, retracement, 63379 for the Australian dollar against the US dollar. Nice touch point right here, potentially coming back to internal structures right now because we have been consolidating. So let's take this to the 15-minute, okay? There we go. We have been consolidating right now. What I'm waiting for is one more pullback, potentially right here in this zone, one more retest, maybe even taking out some of these lows right here, coming back, and then potentially look for a nice reaction to the upside as well here for the Australian dollar against the US dollar. So again, really like what I'm seeing here for the Australian dollar against the US dollar. I think we're going to have some epic setups together in our Discord, in our V3 live trading room, whatever we're going to do. I'm going to be live trading with you guys right after the show. Going to hop on my computer. We're going to go get to work right here. At least talk about everything that we need to know before tomorrow when we're going to trade the CPI live as well here. So keep a very close eye on it. By the way, a big shout out to all the members in our V3 Elite that are being crushing it, sharing charts, sharing setups. Everything is just picture perfect in my opinion right now. They're putting in the work. Ivy keeps, Abi Kush. I can give you a whole list of people that are grinding every single day, especially for you in our Discord, to give you the highest probability setups. And they don't have to do it. They do it because they want to do it, especially for you. So keep that in mind. Big shout out to them. Okay, so one more time, where I'm going to buy Australian dollar against the US dollar. I mean, let's liquidate some lows here. Okay, let's take out these lows first, come down, look for bullish structure, look for like a bullish reversal right here. For example, I'll give you one scenario which I'm interested in right now, and that is potentially coming down here, pulling back, liquidating the lows, shooting up. Okay, and when we're shooting up, what I'm looking for is to retest potentially this high right here. And the reason why I'm looking at this high is because that's the high I want to see. That's the high I personally like to see here. Okay, if you zoom out here on the 1 hourly, that's going to be the perfect retest. The question then will be, are we strong enough for continuation, or are we going to get rejected there? We'll find out from there. Okay, we're definitely going to take some profits. If we can create something like a W structure here, I'm going to enter somewhat below here, which I do believe is a rise probability setup, which I think could happen during the CPI or after that tomorrow. So look out for the Australian dollar. Now, we don't have much time left. I think I'm going to go to oil right here. Number one, oil. You guys know it. I'm a big fan of oil right now at this particular moment. A lot of confluences are coming together. We're also going to talk about Bitcoin, by the way, at the end of the stream, because there are crazy things happening right now. We're stacking some money also in crypto. Big shout out to my man Connor. He's watching. I know you're watching, my friend. Crypto Empire. Check him out. Also, very importantly, so oil right now has been actually performing very well. But after that reaction we saw on the news, right? Oil is going to go to $100 right now. CNBC, buy oil. The sheikh or the whatever, the guys in Saudi Arabia right now are actually really pumping oil up. They want to have the oil price as high as possible. Yes, when we heard that news, everyone gets excited, and that's where people start buying. So people start thinking that oil actually would go to $100 right now, earlier, and it went to 95, and then it started tanking right as it came into the 100 mark, almost at the 100 mark. So we saw that rejection. Okay, we saw an aggressive move to the downside. We saw a pullback, and we saw a continuation to the downside right now. Okay, so oil has been actually coming down ever since, practically since a couple of weeks ago, with already 20%, guys. 20%. In my opinion, that's an absolute discount. Okay, so when we're looking at that zone here, and when we're looking at this 3 daily structure right now, okay, keep a very close eye on this range right here. Okay, this is the range where I'm looking at, where I'm very interested in, potentially coming down here, looking at a retest on this range on the daily, okay, pulling back, looking for internal structures on the 1 hour, looking for an entry model on the 15-minute, and we're gonna have potentially an amazing entry for oil, and in my opinion, around the 74 mark. $74 for oil, $70 a barrel, looks solid to me based upon all the technicals right here. I can go a little bit deeper. You have a lot of confluences coming together, you know, supply and demand, market structure, trend line, support, horizontal support, you name it, it's all there when looking at the technicals here. The reason why I personally like technicals so much is because the moment you have, you know, seen thousands and thousands of charts over time here, I started to realize personally that fundamentals are absolutely an amazing add-on, but the technicals currently is where the magic happens. I've seen it over and over again. Whenever I'm trying to focus too much on what they say on the news, I always feel that I'm one step behind, whereas I'm fully focused on the technicals right here, looking at the higher time frame, seeing things coming along. Sometimes I'm like, man, the combination of fundamentals and technicals is absolutely amazing, but I still give it a 90% technicals right here, okay? In regards to the inflation, it's very important tomorrow that the inflation comes out lower than expected right here. Hopefully, it will benefit a lot of people also in the United States in general here. You know, see it as a cup of tea. You have a really nice strong cup of tea right here. And the moment you start adding more water to that tea, it starts to get diluted, right? And that's what you don't want here. That's why we're going to talk at the end of the stream a little bit more about the money printing side of things here, which I think is also extremely important to look at just for your fundamental, semi-fundamental perspective here. But okay, let's zoom a little bit in for oil right now. Okay, because we have been looking really nice. We have been reacting very nice from this particular zone here, as well as we're bouncing currently from the 70.5% as well right here. So there is a chance that we could potentially already make a move from here. Like I said, guys, it's all about a probability mindset, okay? We're never going to be 100% right. We are also never going to be 100% wrong. So what I want you to do is to manage risk accordingly. So during the next coming sessions we're going to do together, okay, we're going to talk a lot about risk management, about how you can implement the right tools in order to scale into your position, scale out to your position, and to actually look at the right setups as well, being patient enough for the setups to come to you rather than to chase down the market every single day, which you could do if you are a scalper or day trader. But if you are a intraday trader or swing trader, there are some really nice ways for you to still, you know, go to your day-to-day job here while still also potentially work on your skill set by being patient, by waiting for the right setups to come to you here. Okay, that's what we're here to do, as well as taking action on the lower time frames. We're going to get this later on in Discord. Be ready for that in a second as well. So let's dive a little bit lower. Okay, this is oil on the 1 hour chart. What is very important to mention right now here, if you see this, this looked to me like a really nice solid consolidation right here. And the reason why I like this a lot right now is because we saw that final squeeze to the downside. Okay, ever since then we have been, you know, consolidating a little bit right here, right at the $75. We then tried to break the highs. We couldn't break the highs. We're still too weak. We pulled back, still created a higher low. From there onwards, created that higher high that we needed. And now we're looking potentially at a potential continuation or reverse to the upside here. So if this is going to be a confirmation, what I'm personally looking for is a break above the $78. Okay, a $78 hourly closure will potentially lead in towards some continuation towards the $80 right here, which could lead potentially into a nice short-term trade as well. So it's all about perspective in that, right, guys? Okay, do take that in consideration. However, if we come down towards, like we said before, the $74, I'm going to zoom out a little bit more and I'm going to look and potentially get into my swing trade for oil right here. I do believe that oil is absolutely crushing it. I think they're seeing a lot of potential in the near-term future. Same for gold, same for Bitcoin, which we're going to dive in right now because Bitcoin, look at like what's happening right now, guys. We are all the way at $37,000. We ever came up all the way to the 38, I believe. And from that, we came into strong weekly resistance right here, okay? So this is absolutely incredible that we finally broke through the Chinese wall, the Great Wall of China. We talked about this for months and months and months and months in our Discord, where we host our private crypto group as well, which you can join for free by going into our Discord, click on the link, deposit $100 on our affiliate account, sign up and get access to our signals, our course, and so on and so on, including our free signals as well here. So do take that in consideration. Big shout out to Trader Tim for that. But right now we're facing some actual resistance right here, okay? 38K seems like a reasonable stop, all right? I think from here there is a big chance we could have one more squeeze to the upside. And I use usually one more chart for this in order to, gain that perspective right here, okay? So what I'm personally looking for, number one, I zoom in here to the 4 hour, okay? First thing I do is I zoom in. Let's do that real quick right here. Beautiful, okay? I'm not content yet. Okay? Yes, I do think we're gonna see a pullback soon for Bitcoin here, but what I think could happen is potentially that we could still go for this particular wick fill, and I will tell you exactly why I think that, bringing you a little bit more perspective right here. So another liquidation, one more pullback, making people believe we're gonna continue up here, followed by a shorter potential reversal back towards the lows of around $34,000, $33,000. This is what I'm personally looking at, and this is where I'm definitely gonna stack on to my Bitcoin position as well. But the reason why I'm looking at it is the tether dominance, all right? This is the tether dominance chart. For people that have no idea what I'm talking about right now, I have a course, you can watch it. I explain literally everything about the tether dominance, the Bitcoin chart, everything that you need to know, what the correlations are and why it's important to also look at this one. But this is what we call the tether dominance, okay? When people are selling their crypto, they usually don't sell it for dollars, for fiat currencies like the euro, for whatever your currency is. They usually sell it for Tether or other cryptocurrencies, okay? When they sell it for Tether, the Tether dominance goes up due to the fact that all the money in the total market of the cryptocurrency market then goes partially into Tether, which will increases the dominance right here. So this chart reflects perfectly what's happening with the Tether dominance and what's the dynamic between selling crypto into Tether, into stable coins, and keeping it in crypto, okay? And supply and demand works absolutely flawless, okay? Just to give you a perspective here on the weekly, we saw this high right here. We have been rejecting from it multiple times right now. And if you look and literally backtrace this to the Bitcoin chart right here, guys, especially if you look on the weekly and come back towards these levels here at September 18, 2023, you name it, you would see that we're actually coming for the lows right here for Bitcoin at that particular moment here. So by just looking at the Tether dominance, using supply and demand on the higher time frame right here, you could perfectly calculate the lows here for Bitcoin back, or at least the last local lows here at around 25K, okay? So that could have been the perfect buy signal. However, what comes up must come down, and in this case, what you see right here, right now as well, is that we're actually, obviously right now, coming back and liquidating, and this is where it gets interesting, guys, these particular lows right here. We're liquidating now these lows right there, pulling back into that final low, okay? And that's the low I'm personally looking at right here, okay? If we pull back one more time, I do believe that what we can do here is that we could come down a little bit more, back to the 6% for the Tether dominance, potentially coming along here, and then potentially bounce from there, which will then cause a short-term pullback in the cryptocurrency market, preferably Bitcoin, taking out all that liquidity we've been building up here over the last couple of weeks right now. The hype is back. People are coming back. People are starting making videos right now. You see that more people are watching YouTube or crypto videos on YouTube, projections, and so on and so on. This is the start of a potential new bull run, guys. Do take that in consideration. But even then, I'm still aware of the fact that it sooner or later will cause a short-term pullback. And I think the time is yet to come here, guys. So what we're going to do here right now, fam, I'm going to head into Discord. I'm going to make sure I'm going to be there live trading as well. Tomorrow we'll be trading live here. The YouTube CPI, I'm very excited to see what's going on here. Hope you guys are updated. Hope you like the new format right here. I'm going to be here especially for you, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. EST. Make sure you tune in every single time. Set an alert. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the love. Technical difficulties will be solved next time here. I'm here for you. We are here for you. Limitless Trading Academy Discord. Check it out. Much love. See you back tomorrow. Ciao.